Hello, Gloria Brooks here with Nature Glows eScience. Tonight, it's sunset right now. See that? Tonight, I am looking at patterns in nature and demonstrating how you can do this starting right in your own backyard. So here is a dried up wildflower, and when we look at it from at the top, you can see looks like a six-sided star there. It's also spherical. It looks like it's got spines. I'm not going to touch them because I know that they're sharp. They keep getting stuck in my dog's fur. But I bet they're really pretty in the summer. I actually don't know what these are. I still haven't applied myself to wild desert wildflowers in the desert, but I would like to get John Muir Law's book on the natural sciences here in the Eastern Sierra, because that's just so cool. I mean, I love how the stem comes up through the spheres, the spherical part of the flower, and I love how, it looks like a star, these pointed parts there. So I'm out for my evening hike and just considering patterns in nature. Patterns in nature is actually what kicked off my inspiration for looking for math in the real world, and how I came to develop my online course called Math Art. And recently I just finished a book, which I will be releasing shortly, about implementing my 5 secrets math learning system. It's basically about math art, but I put it in, the 5 secrets system. Just, yeah, that's the name. So stay tuned for that. But how it really began was this man, Don Tolman. I know if you've been watching my channel for long, you've heard me talk about him. But it's inspired me like no one else to get outside and look for nature's patterns. And that was the start. And then it moved on to, hey, what about math and art and math and architecture? And yeah. So here we have the creosote bushes, and they illustrate a pattern that we see over and over in nature called fractals. Fractus means piece of mosaic from Latin. And if you look at the veins, I'm holding the phone, but it's kind of hard to see my veins. I have a big plump one in the middle there, though. But veins are fractal. So it's like this cool pattern that we have within our bodies, but also just found everywhere around us on Earth. Like the lightning bolts are fractals, the branching pattern in our lung system. Like our bodies are literally made up of tubes that are fractals. So this definitely is different than the textbook learning of math. And I certainly was never taught any of this throughout my entire K through 12 math education. And the first time I was introduced to it was at a used book sale, when I picked up a Time Life hardback, flipped through the pages, and my eyes almost fell out because math was being illustrated through art and through nature and through the spiral of a chambered nautilus. And that was the very first time I was inspired. That was in 1997, the year after I graduated from college. Didn't hear anything about the living math, is another term for this. Didn't hear anything about living math connections in college either. Although my main focus was K through 12 education. So this is the jumping off point for, I'm a big proponent for, getting away from math curriculum, compulsory math curriculum, the dry worksheets that your kids trudge through, that cry, some of them cry, they're just so frustrated. And then add in Common Core math, which is a whole different new system. I don't know what to feel about Common Core. I have opted out of it, to be honest. But the math education system, like, we spend 12 years learning things that most of which we're not going to use in real life. There are some jobs like nursing that uses like higher maths and formulas and whatnot. But for most of us, we're not going to use about 80% of what's in the school textbooks. So I'm a big proponent of falling in love with the beauty and wonder of mathematics found all around us. Does your child like art? Does your child like skateboarding? Like, there's math found in both of those things. And that can be pointed out in such a rich and exciting and loving way, instead of saying, okay, Johnny, you got to do this, these worksheets before noon, and poor Johnny has his head in his hands. And just the slog. I remember the slog. I remember being passed back my homework from my second grade teacher and seeing it covered in red X's. And I was just so like a deer in the headlights and so completely overwhelmed, and just learned to actually fear math. A lot of people just have like this like anxiety that comes up. And I was one of those, especially with the higher maths. Not quite as much. Although early elementary I did have math anxiety, but I did manage to get out of that. But like algebra, I was ready to pull my hair out. And now there's like this Dragon Box app that you can get and learn algebra. I think I want to get that app just so I can like prove to myself I can do it. And they make it so fun. So I hear rave reviews about Dragon Box. So like, don't make your kids go through compulsory math. Like, do Dragon Box. Look for patterns in nature right in your own backyard with your kids. And there's just so many rich resources out there. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Grab my unit study planner, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.